You own an automatic Land Rover, and right now there is a good chance you are quietly killing the one component that costs more than almost anything else to replace. The ZF gearbox underneath you is brilliant, but it does not forgive bad habits, the wrong fluid, or blind trust in the words sealed for life. By the time a warning light finally appears, the damage is usually done. So which of these 12 mistakes are you making today? Number 12. Ignoring the transmission overheat warning and simply driving on. Your Land Rover watches its own gearbox constantly through a web of sensors, and when fluid pressure, temperature, or clutch behavior drifts outside normal limits, it stores a fault code and throws a warning on the dash. Push it far enough and the truck drops into limp mode, locking itself into a low gear at reduced power, and in some cases forcing itself into park whether you like it or not. There are real Defender and Range Rover owners who had exactly that happen in the middle of moving traffic. The fatal habit is treating that warning as a glitch. Owners restart the car, the light clears, and they keep driving while the gearbox keeps cooking underneath them. What makes it worse on these trucks is that the same fault can come and go for weeks, shifting fine when cold and acting up only once it warms, which makes it very easy to convince yourself nothing is wrong. Caught early, a sensor or a pressure fault is a few $100s. Ignored, that same fault grows into a mechatronic or a full rebuild costing many thousands, and the longer you drive on it, the more of the gearbox you take down with it. If a transmission warning appears or the shifts suddenly turn harsh, stop driving it hard and get it scanned within days, not months. Warning lights are the gearbox shouting at you. Most of the real damage, though, comes from small habits you would never think twice about, starting with where you leave it parked. Number 11. Leaving it parked on a slope without the handbrake. When you stop on a hill and shift straight into park, the entire weight of a 2.5-ton Land Rover drops onto a single small metal pin called the parking pawl. That pin was designed to hold an already stationary vehicle, never to carry the loaded weight of a truck this heavy pressing against it on a gradient. Anyone who has struggled to pull the lever out of park on a hill has felt it. That stiffness is the pawl being crushed, a condition known as torque lock. Over time, the teeth on the ratchet wheel chip and wear, and in the worst case, the truck can roll out of park on its own, with the repair requiring the gearbox to come out. Plenty of owners are genuinely unsure about the right order, so here it is. Stop fully with the brake, pull the handbrake firmly, let the truck settle onto the handbrake, and only then shift into park. Reverse it when you leave. The pawl engages with no load on it, and the damage simply never happens. Get the parking routine right, and the pawl lasts the life of the truck. There is a related habit, though, that wears out something far more expensive, and almost every driver is guilty of it. Number 10. Shifting between drive and reverse before the truck has fully stopped. Transmission specialists rank this among the top causes of early gearbox failure, and Land Rover owners do it constantly. You are reversing out of a space, swinging through a 3-point turn, or shuffling back and forth in a tight off-road line, and you flick from reverse to drive while the truck is still creeping. It lurches, it feels normal, and you think nothing of it. Inside the gearbox, something violent just happened. You ask the clutch packs and internal components to absorb the rolling momentum of the whole vehicle and slam it into the opposite direction, a job that belongs to the brakes. Repeat it enough times that shock loading wears the clutch plates, the selector mechanism, and the mechatronic unit, until shifts turn harsh, hesitant, and delayed. There are no exceptions to the fix. Bring the truck to a complete stop before moving the selector between drive and reverse every single time. The brakes stop the vehicle, the gearbox only changes direction. Give each part the one job it was built for. That habit punishes the clutch packs. A very similar one punishes a single tiny component instead, and it catches you at the end of the journey rather than the start. Number 9. Selecting park before the truck has completely stopped. This is closely related to the slope habit, but it happens faster and the damage is more direct. When you nudge the lever into park while the vehicle is still rolling, even at walking pace, that little parking pawl is forced to physically arrest the spinning drivetrain. That is the brake pedal's job, not the pawl's. Each time the pin slams into the moving ratchet wheel under load, it chips and deforms the teeth. The warning signs build slowly, a clunk as you come out of park, a selector that grows stiffer over the months, and eventually a pawl that fails completely and demands a gearbox removal to fix. The habit is usually muscle memory. Drivers reach for park a fraction of a second before the truck has actually stopped because they have always done it. On a heavy Land Rover, that fraction of a second is exactly when the pawl takes the hit. The correction costs you nothing and no extra time at all. Come to a full and complete stop on the brakes and only then choose park. Same seconds, same routine, but one version quietly destroys an expensive part. Now let us deal with a myth that refuses to die. Number 8. coasting downhill in neutral to save fuel. There is a stubborn belief that slipping an automatic into neutral on a long descent saves fuel by letting gravity do the work. In every modern fuel-injected Land Rover, the opposite is true. When you coast down a hill and drive with your foot off the throttle, the engine management system cuts fuel to the injectors almost entirely because the wheels are turning the engine for free. Drop into neutral and the engine now has to burn fuel just to keep itself idling, so you actually use more. The mechanical risk is worse than the wasted fuel. Slotting from neutral back into drive while rolling sends a hard engagement shock through the gearbox that it was never meant to take. And on a steep descent, neutral robs you of all engine braking and hands the entire job to your brakes, which then overheat and fade on exactly the descents a Land Rover is built to crawl down. Leave it in drive, let the gearbox and hill descent systems do their work, and your brakes will thank you. So much for saving fuel on the hills. The damage waiting in everyday traffic is far quieter, and you cannot hear it happening at all. Number 7. Letting the truck crawl in drive through heavy traffic and slow off-road sections. This one is invisible, and that is what makes it dangerous. In stop-and-go traffic or inching over rough ground, owners let the Land Rover creep forward continuously in drive. Nothing feels wrong, no light comes on, and the gearbox slowly bakes. At a crawl, the clutch components sit at their biting point, neither fully engaged nor released, generating constant friction and heat. The problem is made worse by the truck itself. A Land Rover's underside is almost completely paneled in for off-road protection, which means far less air flows across the gearbox to carry that heat away than on an ordinary car. The warmth builds with nowhere to escape, and sustained heat is what kills these gearboxes early. The fix is simple and free. In slow traffic, hold the truck on the brake at each gap instead of letting it crawl, and for longer cues, shift into neutral to let the clutch packs release and the fluid shed heat. It costs nothing and adds years to the gearbox. Crawling builds that heat slowly. Hook up a trailer though, and the very same heat arrives in minutes. Number 6. Towing heavy without managing the gearbox heat. This is where a Land Rover earns its keep, and also where owners destroy gearboxes. There are documented cases of a Range Rover Sport towing a 6,000-pound camper that overheated and shut itself down in the road, twice, with barely 30 seconds of warning. Towing a heavy load up a long grade forces the gearbox to work hard at low speed. And at low speed, there is very little airflow and very slow fluid circulation to remove the heat. Combined with that closed-off underbody, the fluid temperature climbs fast. The mistakes owners make are towing in the wrong mode, lugging the gearbox at very low revolutions in a high gear, and assuming a luxury truck simply cannot overheat. The fixes are real. Use a lower gear or sport mode on climbs to keep fluid circulating, watch your temperatures, and if you tow often, fit an additional gearbox oil cooler. The gearbox can tow brilliantly, it just cannot tow hot and neglected at the same time. If you enjoy this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Now, towing tests a red-hot gearbox, but the opposite extreme catches owners out just as often before the truck has warmed up at all. Number 5. Driving hard before the gearbox has reached operating temperature. Every owner knows to let an engine warm up, but almost nobody thinks about the gearbox, which has its own cold behavior. When the fluid is cold, the system deliberately softens its shifts and holds back, because cold fluid is thicker and the internal clearances are tighter. That is not a fault. It is the truck protecting itself. Flooring it, forcing aggressive downshifts, or selecting sport mode on a cold gearbox grinds metal components against each other before the fluid has thinned out and spread properly. On a Land Rover, this matters even more. Because so many trips are short, cold, stop-start runs to the shops where the gearbox never fully warms. Interestingly, the same heat exchanger that cools the fluid when it is hot also helps bring it up to temperature at startup, but only once the truck is gently moving. The right routine costs nothing. Pull away gently for the first several minutes, keep the revolutions modest, and leave sport mode alone until everything is up to temperature. And resist the urge to fix this by idling the truck for ages on the driveway. Because the fluid only circulates and warms properly once the vehicle is actually moving gently, not sitting still. Cold driving is a free mistake to avoid. Stranger still are the mistakes owners willingly pay money to make. Number 4. Filling it with the wrong fluid. The ZF gearbox inside your Land Rover is engineered around one very specific oil, with an exact viscosity and additive package. It is not generic automatic transmission fluid, and it is not whatever is cheapest on the shelf. ZF is blunt about this. Fluids that are not approved have not been tested, may not meet the gearbox's demands, and using them can void warranties. The danger is that the wrong oil looks identical going in and feels fine for a while, then slowly causes erratic pressure, slipping clutches, and harsh or hesitant shifts as it fails to lubricate and cool the way the real fluid would. On older high-mileage trucks, putting in a not-quite-compatible fluid has been described only half-jokingly as a death sentence for the gearbox. The rule is simple. Insist on genuine ZF-approved fluid in the exact specification for your model, and make sure your shop is using it rather than a one-size-fits-all barrel in the corner. The fluid is cheap. The gearbox is not. Wrong fluid is a mistake of neglect. This one comes from the opposite instinct entirely, the urge to chase more power. Number 3. Adding an aftermarket tune that the gearbox was never set up for. Remaps and power tunes are hugely popular on Land Rovers, especially the diesels, and done properly, they are fine. The problem is a specific one. A tune raises engine torque, sometimes dramatically, while the gearbox software is still calibrated for the factory torque figure. When that extra torque arrives, the clutch packs are asked to hold forces they were never designed for. The result is accelerated clutch wear, chronic overheating under load, and in the worst cases, complete clutch failure, turning a gearbox that was meant to gain from the power into one destroyed by it. There is a warranty trap too. The manufacturer does not cover damage from unauthorized modifications, and a stored tune can be detected in the control unit even after it has been removed. If you want more power, work only with tuners who recalibrate the gearbox to match the new output, not just the engine. Anyone offering you big torque numbers without a word about the gearbox is selling you a very expensive problem. A bad tune breaks things quickly. The slower killers are kinder, they warn you first, and ignoring that warning is how a small repair becomes a catastrophic one. Number 2. Ignoring the early warning signs and masking them instead of fixing them. Long before a Land Rover gearbox fails outright, it tells you. A clunk on the 2-to-1 downshift as you slow to a stop, a flare or hesitation when you accelerate away from a junction, a slight shudder, or a leak weeping from the mechatronic sleeve. These are the cheap stage. Caught here, a fluid and filter service or a sleeve repair brings the gearbox back, and owners routinely report that the hard clunk vanishes and the shifts turn buttery smooth afterwards. The mistake is brushing it off, or worse, asking for a software update that simply masks the symptom by retraining the shift behavior while the mechanical wear quietly continues underneath. A software patch does not put fresh fluid in or replace a worn seal. By the time you can no longer ignore it, the cheap repair window has closed and the bill has multiplied. Treat the first clunk as information, not annoyance, and get it diagnosed properly. Which brings us to the single mistake that destroys more Land Rover gearboxes than everything else combined. Number 1. Trusting sealed for life and never changing the gearbox fluid. This is the big one. Land Rover's official service schedule treats the fluid as effectively lifetime, with intervals stretching to 150,000 miles, and salespeople happily repeat the words sealed for life. The gearbox maker ZF flatly disagrees. ZF recommends fresh fluid roughly every 50,000 miles in normal use, and as little as every 25,000 miles for a truck that tows or works off-road. Here's what actually happens. The specialized fluid breaks down under heat and fills with microscopic clutch debris. It stops lubricating properly, the clutches begin to slip, hydraulic pressure in the mechatronic unit drops, and the filter clogs. The symptoms arrive gradually and then all at once, usually as a fault code in limp mode, by which point the damage is often done. There is one more catch worth knowing. Because the gearbox constantly adapts to its own wear, a neglected one will have quietly learned to compensate for tired fluid and worn clutches, which is why so many owners feel no problem at all right up until the moment it fails. A full fluid, filter, and pan service runs roughly $500 to $900. Ignoring it leads to a rebuild or replacement costing many thousands. Land Rover says lifetime. Your gearbox disagrees. That single service is the one thing standing between you and the most expensive repair on this entire list. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.